Chapter 2. The Temple of Validation. Verse 1. And lo, they built altars of pixels, and upon them offered their faces as sacrifice. Verse 2. The priests of the platform bless every post, yet know not the gods they serve. Verse 3. For the God of validation demandeth endless offerings, yet giveth peace to none. Verse 4. He who seeketh approval drinketh from a cup that never filleth. Verse 5. The heart counteth its worth by hearts received, and so becometh heartless. Verse 6. Every like is a fleeting sunbeam upon a shadowed soul. Verse 7. The one who boasteth humility is already lost within the echo of his own virtue. Verse 8. When all men crave applause, silence becomes rebellion. Verse 9. Many speak not to share, but to exist, for in silence they fear they vanish. Verse 10. They call it influence, yet it is merely dependence disguised as power. Verse 11. He who buildeth his worth upon the gaze of strangers shall crumble when their eyes turn away. Verse 12. The crowd is a fickle sea. It lifteth one today, and drowneth another tomorrow. Verse 13. The wise man knoweth, validation is but vanity in sacred robes. Verse 14. What profit hath a man if he gain 1,000,000 followers, yet lose his own stillness? Verse 15. Beware the applause that deafens. It drowneth the whisper of truth within. Verse 16. Those who praise thee for the image, curse thee for the silence behind it. Verse 17. The feet remembereth thy success, but forgetteth thy soul. Verse 18. The greatest illusion of all is that the watchers care. Verse 19. When one ceaseth to seek praise, he beginneth to see clearly. Verse 20. And thus, the temple shall stand until the worshippers awaken, and the altars crumble beneath their own emptiness.